Hi friends, a very pleasant good morning and welcome to Oliveboard. I hope all of you are doing good and finally we can see that the RBI Grade B 2022 detailed notification is out. So it's been a long time, a long week, a lot of speculations, a lot of waiting going on down there among the students. So I think finally here we are, and we'll just quickly discuss the pattern first because that's what we have been waiting for. We already know about the eligibility criteria, the number of vacancies, the split. So we have already seen that in the on Friday, and in fact before that in the vacancy list as well. So today, finally, the one thing that we were waiting for, though we knew already that we are not going to expect any pattern change after the Friday's bit that we saw in the employment news. But still, I think it's important that we quickly have a look at what is in store for us in terms of the exact pattern of RBI Grade B 2022 examination. So if you can just give me a quick heads up that you can share me properly and I'm visible to you guys. I'll just start the session in a minute and we can just straight away first move on to the grade B pattern for this particular year. So a very quick heads up in the chat section would help me out. Maybe a thumbs up would do, or maybe a yes. Okay, so any one of you can just give me a cue that your screen is, I'm visible to you on your screens and you can hear me properly. In case there's some blurring in the screen, please increase the resolution of the video and you will be able to see me properly. Okay, there's some issue with the internet, I guess. And I will start taking, please let me know if there is something which is not clear. Okay, thank you so much. I can see Pankaj, Madhurima and Piyush giving me a heads up. Thank you, Manohar, for that heads up from you. Okay, so let's just quickly get on to see the pattern, right? And before that, a quick look at the dates because that's going to be really important for us. Okay. Please increase the resolution in case there is any blurring there on your screen. Okay, so here it's very evident that the phase 1 examination is going to be held on May of 28th, right? And 28th of May, and the phase 2 is going to be held on June 25th, right? So please note down these dates. And the other important date that you guys need to make a note of is the application forms are open today and it will be there till 18th of April. So please don't wait till the last minute. I've seen many students doing that. So take 1 or 2 days, understand everything, and please fill your forms as soon as possible, right? So this is the important events that you need to note down. Now let's move on to see the pattern. Okay, we will move ahead and have a look at the eligibility once again. If you guys want us to discuss the same, let's have a look at the pattern first because this is what we have been waiting for. Okay, now first and foremost, RBI Grade B is a three-tier examination. In case you are new to this exam and you are giving it for the first time, I'm sure you have heard it before though. So you have phase 1, phase 2, and interview. Fine. And your phase 1 examination is just qualifying in nature. You need to qualify the cutoff and move towards your phase 2 exam. For your final list, what is going to be taken into account? Your phase 2 marks and the interview marks. Okay, so these are the two things that they're going to be taking into account. Fine. Now let us move on to see phase 1. First point, there is no change in the pattern. This is the same as we saw last year. Okay, so in case you have already given the examination, you are aware about the pattern already. Okay, if you are someone who's going to give it for the first time, let's just quickly have a look at the pattern. Now see, whenever the pattern is released, one thing you need to understand, they will never give you the splitter between these four sections that you can see on your screen. Okay, now here you can see the paper 1, which is qualifying in nature, would consist of general awareness, English language, quantitative aptitude, and reasoning. Okay, and since the pattern is same, we are not going to be seeing any change as such. So out of the 200 marks paper that you see here, okay, totally you'll be writing for 200 marks. 80 marks is going to be general awareness. Okay, and 60 marks is going to be your reasoning. So one thing is very clear: when you get your information handout, okay, only then you will be able to see the split up. But don't worry, it's usually a formality. We already know the split up beforehand, and the Oliveboard's mock test that you see, okay, as part of our course, already it has been designed based on the pattern requirements. Okay, be it the sectional cutoff, or be it the obviously the sectional timing, sorry, and the marks for each particular section. The other thing that I want you guys to note is here, if you see these four sections in front of you, fine. In one important point is, for qualifying, you need to clear the overall cutoff. That is the first thing that you need to do. Apart from that, you also need to clear the section wise cutoff. For each section, you need to secure minimum marks to pass that particular paper. There can be a scenario where you have cleared the overall cutoff, but you are not qualifying the sectional cutoff. So in that case, again, you're not qualified. So this is something which many of you miss out. So please note this today itself. Okay. And the second thing that you need to note is the sectional timing. Okay, you will get a total of 120 minutes to solve this particular paper, that is 2 hours. But at the same time, you'll also be given a section wise timing. You cannot go from one section to the other. Okay, after you are done with one particular section, automatically your screen would show the next section with the timer. Fine. And the mock test that we provide, obviously that is set accordingly, so you don't need to worry about. Once you attempt the first one, you will already get a complete idea of how the paper is going to be. So in case you are someone who's going to be just, giving this for the first time, have no clue about how the paper looks, you don't have to worry much about it. Just go attempt the test, you'll get a complete idea about the paper. Fine. Now let's move on to paper 2. Fine. This is something which I would say, for the first time, we saw this kind of a pattern last year. So there was a pattern change which was done in the last year's RBI Grade B exam. So they have kept the pattern same. So if in case you're writing it for the next time, it's going to be a little easier for you because you have given it last time, you know the pattern. But in case you are someone who's attempting for the first time, there are few points that you need to note. So first of all, there are going to be two important things here. One is it is also objective type of paper as well as descriptive type of paper. Okay, so there are two kinds of questions that are going to see: MCQ based and descriptive type. Okay, MCQs, obviously it's a little easy because you have the options in front of you. You need to select the correct answer. For descriptive type, you need to actually type using keyboard, right? It's not pen and paper, it is a usage of your keyboard. So let us see, in phase 2 examination of yours, you're going to be having 3 papers in total. So we'll go one by one. You have paper 1, you have paper 2, and you have paper 3. Okay. So again, 3 papers as part of your phase 2 examination. Now let's take one paper at a time. So the paper 1 is going to be ESI, Economics and Social Issues paper. Again, 50 percentage objective type and 50 descriptive type. You can see it's very clearly mentioned. Okay. And the time for each particular section within a particular paper is also mentioned. So to solve the objective type paper, you are allocated 30 minutes and it's going to be for 50 marks. And your descriptive type of paper, you are going to get 90 minutes to answer those questions or type those questions using the keyboard. And again, it is going to be for 50 marks. So total time for ESI paper, 120 minutes. Okay, so 2 hours is going to be given for you to answer the complete paper, and the marks for that particular paper is going to be 100 in total. Right? Very simple. If first timers, you need to revise this once or twice to get the hold of the entire scheme of examination. Now, when you talk about these descriptive questions, let me tell you, you need to answer 4 descriptive questions. Okay, but you will be given 6, you need to answer 4. 2 15-marker questions and 2 10-marker questions. Okay, so this is going to be the same for ESI, that is Economic and Social Issues, and Finance and Management. Now, when you scroll down, let us move forward and have a look at your paper 2. Now, this is the descriptive English paper that we usually call it every year. It is going to test your writing skills. So here again, you are going to get 90 minutes of time and it's going to be for 100 marks. 3 questions are going to be there. Okay, now mostly every year what we see is reading comprehension, we see essay writing, and we see pre writing. That's what we have been seeing every year. We will get more clarity once the information handout is released, but that is usually released at the time of your admit card, so you don't have to wait long. Okay, this is going to be your pattern. And the third paper that you see is going to be the exact replica of your ESI paper. That is the paper one that we just saw. So that is ESI, and this is finance and management. The scheme remains the same. The pattern remains the same. 50% objective, 50% descriptive, right? You're going to get 50 marks for objective, 50 marks for descriptive, right? And there's no much difference, exactly the same, only the subjects are different. There it is ESI, and here it is general finance and management, right? Usually they have given always finance and management. It's interesting to see that this time they have mentioned it as general finance and management. So you can say somewhere we can take a hint that it's again going to be more general based questions from finance rather than core finance questions or numericals. It's some interesting change of words that I see here, right? So yes, again, a quick recap in terms of how many questions you'll be attempting in descriptive part. For ESI, you'll be writing 4 questions, 6 would be there. Okay, there would be a choice, 2 15 markers and 2 10 marker questions. The same thing goes for general finance and management, right? Now, other thing is the last phase that we usually have is interview. Obviously, this has been the scheme of the examination for most of the competitive exams. So one important change which RBI made last year was that the interview used to be for 50, but they, increased the interview marks to 75. So again, they're continuing it this year as well. So we're going to have the interview being taken for 75 marks. So just to repeat myself, what I said at the start, that your final selection is actually going to depend upon your phase two marks and your interview marks. Okay. The phase one is just going to be qualifying in nature, so you don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, you won't neglect it because that's your gateway to reach phase two and interview, right? So the pattern remains the same, and this is a quick brief about the pattern. You can also go ahead and read a blog which would be giving you complete detail in case it's still not clear. Okay. Okay, and one other thing is, let me tell you about the syllabus now. Okay, though we will take a complete strategy session, which will include step by step guidance as to how you need to proceed forward. Let's just have a look at the syllabus of RBI Grade B examination. No change in the syllabus, let me tell you. It's been kept the same. So ESI, again, it's being broadly categorized into 4 headings, you can see. And when we are having a look at the strategy session, I think then you will understand this much better, because what we will be doing is we will split this into important topics and headings based on our experience of the previous year papers and based on what is required out of us. Okay. So we're not going to be reading each and every chapter out there line by line. That's not how we can proceed. Okay. So not spending much time here. Let's move on to paper two. So they usually do not give any particular information here. The only thing that they give you is regarding, your descriptive English and what are the important things that you need to do. So they have just mentioned to assess the writing skills, including expression and understanding of the topic. So don't worry much about it. The particulars under this is going to be reading comprehension, essay writing for us, and obviously essay writing. These are the three types of questions that we usually see in descriptive English paper. We'll be providing you complete assistance for this as well, so don't worry. The next thing is general finance and management. Okay, it's FNM. That is how this is usually referred to. Okay, so the syllabus as such has the same structure, the same addition of topics that were done last year, and they have divided that very beautifully into 3 sections. If you see, financial system, markets, and general topics. Now, again, you don't have to do much about it at this very moment, because when once we are discussing the strategy, for the next 60 days in our hands, we'll definitely be splitting this into a priority wise, schema, wherein we will see what are the topics that are important. How do you need to study? Okay, whether you need to go ahead with, say, financial markets in the first place, or say these topics that you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that placing would be discussed completely in the strategy session that's going to be there tomorrow. So don't worry about it at all. The next thing that we're going to be seeing is going to be management. Okay, same, no difference in the syllabus compared to the last year. In fact, a couple of additions were done in the last year's notification that have been kept as it is. This particular section that you see, ethics at the workplace and corporate governance, this was actually introduced last year, the part of ethics that you see. So we already have a concept building series present in our course for ethics, so don't worry about that as well. It's going to be very seamless to understand these topics that are given here. So yeah, this is about your syllabus for RBI Grade B 2022. So overall, the takeaway is going to be very simple, that we have a 3-tier examination. First is qualifying, second and third is going to help you to clear the examination, right? And the crux is we just need to start our preparation. Okay, and in fact, if you're starting there's a first day, then also it's not going to be a problem for you, because we have time in our hands. We can see that the phase 1 examination is going to be held on 28th May. So today is just 28th of March. Okay, we have straight 2 days in our hands. Okay, 2 months in our hands. So we have 60 days there. You don't have to worry about it at all. Okay. Now, just for those who haven't gone through the eligibility criteria, I would just once again focus on eligibility, because that's something which will help you decide if you need to go ahead with filling the form or not. Okay. Okay, so the age eligibility, this is one thing which you guys need to note for sure, is a candidate must have attained the age of 21 years and the maximum age limit is 30. But the cutoff, the date on which you need to check if you fall within this particular age criteria, is going to be Jan 1st, 2022. So please make sure you are checking your eligibility here. There is age relaxation that has been provided. Okay, so you can see here the upper limit is relaxed for a few categories. So please take a moment and understand which category you belong to. So in case if you are under SC and ST, then obviously it's going to be 5 years of age relaxation. If you fall under OPC category, then 3 years of age relaxation is going to be there. But please make note, you need to produce certificates for these things, right? So that you can claim your age relaxations out there. So please be confident that you have the required documents and then apply for the same, right? And it's going to be 10 years for persons with benchmark disabilities. Okay, so just make a note of it. But here also there is an exception that you need to understand, that even if you fall under persons with benchmark disabilities category, just check which other category you are mapped to. Do you belong to the general or economically weaker section, or you belong to SC, ST or OBC? Based on that also, this maximum age relaxation would be again differing. Fine. And if you have done your MPhil and PhD, again, the upper age limit will be 32 and 34 years respectively. So obviously MPhil 32, PhD 34. There's one other point that I would want you to focus here, is for candidates who are already, officers. So then again, they are also allowed to apply. So the age limit for them is going to be relaxed to 3 years. So it becomes 33. But in those 3 years, the probation period is not counted. Okay, fine. And just one other interesting line which I wanted to, I hope I just get that here. Okay, let me first talk about the minimum education qualification. Okay, this is also one thing which is very important for us. Okay, so here we'll be talking about the generalist post that you can see on your screen. Fine. You need to be a graduate. Okay, you can be a graduate in any discipline. That's one thing. Please note, we do get a lot of queries from students that we are not very good in finance, or we are not from a finance background. We haven't done commerce, or we haven't done maybe any of the subjects that are related even to the syllabus. So are we do we stand a chance? Let me tell you very clearly that the eligibility criteria speaks a lot about any examination, right? So here it is very well mentioned, very clearly mentioned, in fact, that you can be a graduate in any discipline. So you don't have to worry about whether you stand a chance or not. You definitely stand a chance as long as you have the determination to follow the syllabus, follow the strategy, and go ahead and clear the examination. They're not going to be bothered from which profession are you, right? The other thing is, for this also, minimum 60 marks is required in your graduation, right? But if you fall under SC/ST and persons with benchmark disabilities, then it becomes, or it is lowered to 50%. One other point I would want you to note is, in case you are a postgraduate, okay, then you need to see the second part of the information that is given here. So you need to have 55% minimum marks. But if you fall under SC/ST and persons with benchmark disabilities, plus you are a postgraduate, then pass marks would do. Fine. So let me just repeat this point in case you are confused. If I am a graduate, I haven't done my post graduation, my minimum requirement is going to be 60% of marks if I fall under general category or economically weaker section category, or if I fall under OBC category. Okay. Now I'm a graduate. I haven't done post graduation, but I fall under SC/ST and persons with benchmark disabilities. Then my minimum qualification becomes the percentage is 50% in my graduation. Now, next scenario, I'm a postgraduate. Okay, then I'm not bothered about how much percentage have I scored in my graduation. Okay, I'm postgraduate. Now I need to look at my marks. If it is 55% minimum, I am in the general category or maybe OBC or economically weaker section, then sure, I'm eligible to apply for RBI grade B. Next scenario, I'm a postgraduate, but I fall under SC/ST or persons with benchmark disabilities, then I'm just going to be bothered if I've passed my post graduation, right? Fine. So this is all about it. And if you have done your graduation, then I would request you to check your graduation should be at least of 3 years. Okay, if you have done your post graduation, it should be at least of 2 years. I'm not going through the general, the other specialized posts. Okay, let me just show you one other thing that I was just wanting to make a note of. First of all, number of attempts. Okay, if you belong to general category or economically weaker section category, then if you have appeared 6 times, okay, for your phase one, then obviously you are not eligible to apply anymore. So there's a cap on the number of attempts that you can give. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have crossed phase one or not. If you have appeared in the examination, not applied, appeared, there is a difference between applied and appeared. I might apply for an examination, I might not go there. Okay, I might not attend the examination. That attempt is not counted. Filling the form is not counted as an attempt. You need to go there, be present in the examination hall, give the examination. So if you have done that 6 times for phase one, then obviously you're not supposed to apply in case you are falling under general category and or economically weaker section, right? But if you belong to SC/ST, OBC, or persons with benchmark disabilities, then there's no such cap for them. Okay, they can apply a number of times. Now, see this fifth point, friends. I think all of you with me now. Uh, this is an interesting line here that they have actually, put that in the notification as well. That's very surprising. Last year also, I think we did see this particular line here. For grade B, a direct recruitment generalist post, bank encourages candidates with no prior experience to apply. So there are many questions that we hear from the students saying that we have a gap, we have been preparing for competitive exams for a long time, so I haven't done any job yet, or I quit my job to prepare for competitive exam. There's 3 year gap in my career. So how would I justify myself in the interview? The RBI grade B is already justified, right? They have already given you a very solid line in the notification, which itself says that bank encourages candidates with no prior experience to apply, right? So they want people, they are okay, or in fact they're more than welcoming of the people who are actually not having experience, because you do go under training. Okay, you are taught everything there. The only thing that you guys need to do is figure out a way to enter that particular organization, and they do take very good care of you, right? So please don't worry about the gap in your career, I would say. Yeah, I can see one question. First class final year में चाहिए ये aggregate. I think you're talking about the qualification. Okay, let me take you back to the qualification bit. Okay, see here it is very clear. Aggregate of all semesters and years. See this particular line. Okay, you'll have to check this. It is aggregate of all semester and years. Okay, I think there's one student called Gulam Hussain who's asking, would it affect the selection if I have some experience? No, no, no. Please do not take it the other way. It doesn't mean that if you have experience, it's going to be a negative point for you. The only thing RBI is trying to make sure is you not being employed or you not having an experience is not going to affect your chances to enter into the organization. That's what they're going to make, that's what they have made clear with this line. They're encouraging them to apply because they do see a potential in them as well. So in case you have a strong professional experience, that does not put you down in any way. Okay, so don't worry about that at all. Fine. Hi Manan, good morning, I hope you're doing good. Okay, I think banker 2022. Okay, I'm really sorry to see that you've got 59.22 percentage in graduation, but can you check if you are eligible for any age relaxation, please? Just check under which category do you fall. Shriya Shubham. Okay, why is probation mentioned in recruitment heading? It was not present in past notification. Don't worry about that, Shriya. See, always whenever you're selected into RBI or any organization, for example, like even SEBI or Nabard, there's obviously a probation period that everybody goes through. Okay, it is not that there's something new has been introduced, nothing like that. Any officer being selected goes through a probation period. Even if you see, even in the banks that you get selected as a PO, there's a probation period. Yes, Shreyashi, that I will be coming out with a very detailed strategy, in fact, to clear the examination in 60 days. Don't worry about it. We will go layer by layer, understand how each section or each phase needs to be dealt with. So you don't worry about it. We'll be very strong in what needs to be done. Okay. Okay, I'm really sorry for those who are not eligible. Yeah, I don't think we can actually do something about it. But the only thing is just look out for the other opportunities that are there. Not everybody has, the same criteria. Few of them do not have 60 percentage. They have 50, 55. So it makes a lot of difference there. So I understand it's a little disappointing, but yes, at the end of the day, please move ahead. Do not try and break your head over this, right? It's okay because nothing can be done if you're not fitting into the eligibility criteria, right? So that's actually out of our hands. So don't worry about it much. Okay, Shreyashi Datta is asking, I am not. Manan, I don't think I have. I think I've replied back to your email. It was regarding SIBI, I believe, the email that you had sent. If you check your reply, you would have that. For the last 2 days, I wasn't available, so I didn't check for the last 2 days. Okay, so Shriyashi, I'm not from commerce background, so can I crack it consistently? See, you do not worry about the background, please. Again, I'm just mentioning it for those students who are maybe going to attempt this for the first year or the first time. Okay, and you should be very confident about going ahead with this examination because I again told you the education qualification itself says graduate or postgraduate in any discipline. That has the answer for all your apprehensions out there. Don't worry about it at all, just go for it. Okay, and consistently if you prepare you'll be able to clear that because you have 60 days in your hands. It's not like 30, 40 days, right? 2 months, it's more than enough actually. Okay, the level of the examination, I think you cannot compare it with SBI PO because in SBI PO you do not have ESI, finance and management, or descriptive English as a phase two kind of a thing, right? So it's very different from the scheme of examination, but at the same time, few sections are common, and your practice for SBI PO for quantitative aptitude, English, and reasoning can definitely help you out in RBI grade B. Manju Shri, no need of 60 percentage in 12th class. No, Manju, 60 percentage is not needed in 12th. 60 percentage is needed only in your graduation. If you're a postgraduate, then 55 percentage. Okay? RBI had this criteria I think 2 years back, wherein 10th, 12th also was taken into account, but now they have waived this criteria. Okay, you just need to concentrate on your graduation marks. Yeah. Any other questions, friends? I think we are done with understanding what is required out of us. Okay, Ayush Agarwal, quant reasoning are there only in phase one. So the level is PO pre or PO mains. Okay, see, Ayush, if you ask me, the level of reasoning, quant, and English is like your SBI PO. Okay, again, it is sometimes they do, tough, set a tough paper like your mains paper, but most of the time your prelim level paper would be fine, but not IBPS PO. I'm talking about SBI PO level. Okay. Yes, I think. Spare time, I think. Okay, she's one of our users. They're talking about this. See, this is regarding your, conversion of your percentage of marks. So few of you, right? I think in your final grade sheet, you do see the pointers being mentioned in the form of CGPA, how we call it in our, college days. So I would request you to understand this mapping out here. Yes, if it is 5.75, it is 50 percentage. That's how they have mapped. One other thing I would request you to do is, you will have to go back and check if you have a conversion table available with your universities. See, I'll read this note to for you. Some universities, institutes, or boards do not award class or percentage of marks and allocate aggregate grade points. Okay. In case the universities defines criteria for conversion of the CGPA into percentage of marks, the same will be accepted. If the university or the board, they do not define this criteria for conversion, then you will have to consider the below table. So understand this. Actually, every university has this conversion. If you're not aware about it, just check with them. Okay, just check with the admin department, or it might also be available on your university's website. There is a conversion table which is already available with all the universities. In case you do not find it, only then you will have to consider this as the final. Okay. Fine, guys. I think we are done here, and let's meet again tomorrow with full confidence that yes, we are going to be applying. Okay, and we are not going to be thinking that is it possible for us or not. Not nothing as such. Don't have such thoughts in your mind. Please go back, apply. Okay, the forms are already open, and let's meet tomorrow again with a detailed discussion of how one needs to proceed step by step. Right? Okay, Shreyashi Dutt, what is your question? I'll take the last question. I'm already preparing for bank exam, but the subjects which included on phase two looks bit tough. So is it really or anyone can do that? Shreyashi, many of them have already been preparing for banking exam and then they have gone ahead and given RBI grade B. So we do have, students clearing RBI grade B and preparing for banking simultaneously. It does help them in a few ways. It's not just for namesake. If you just put in your efforts and follow the right strategy, I would say, then definitely it's going to be easier for you to clear, right? Fine, you can go ahead and check the courses that we're providing. Plus tomorrow again we're going to be having a detailed discussion, so at that point of time also, let's just understand the various components that are there. Fine. Thank you so much, friends, and please go ahead, open the website, start applying. We will be coming out with a strategy, don't worry. Okay, we'll take you step by step. Don't need to worry, don't need to panic. Everything is in control. 60 days more than enough. Please make sure whatever we give you as a strategy, okay, you are following that. Okay. Kavita, I think if you have joined late to the session, I have already shown everybody why you need to apply even if you do not have any professional experience. RBI has gone ahead and given you a very important and interesting point out there in the notification. I think if Kavita is still there in the chat section, Kavita, this is for you. Don't have any experience in long gap. Can I apply? For grade B, direct recruitment, generalist post, bank encourages candidates with no prior experience to apply. Right? So I think, Kavita, if you're listening to me, please don't get anxious. Okay? And don't self doubt, bring in any self doubt. It's okay to have not having any experience or having a long gap in your career. It's perfectly fine. Just accept that and be proud of whatever you have been doing. Don't worry about it, right? Okay. So fine, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, I do see her question popping up as and when I'm trying to close this session. Okay, Vinay Rawat says I have 56 in graduation and 63 in post graduation. Can I fill this form? Vinay Rawat, if you are a postgraduate, then you need to just concentrate on the percentage you have got in your post graduation. So clearly you are eligible to apply. Don't worry about it. If you are a postgraduate, don't worry about your graduation marks. Okay. Fine. Last 1 minute. Any other questions, friends, before I just wind up today's session? Okay. Thank you so much. And please do take good care of yourself. Stay safe, right? Sarika, I think you need to calculate that, right? Just understand, Sarita, I think, you can just check the eligibility section. You need to, I think you're going to be eligible. I don't think that's going to be a problem. No, you need to have minimum 21. Okay, so just calculate if you have minimum 21. I don't think you'll be falling under that then. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. And please do take good care of yourself. Thank you.